Are you ready for a new power-packed DCU update? I sure hope you are, because I've got three big stories I want to talk about today. And the biggest one is just an unbelievable story that's coming out today and is being reported by many outlets out there. And I do believe that this is going to come to fruition this time. Now, again, this can still be in the rumor mill and is not a definitive fact, but with the amount of outlets that are reporting it and places like Screen Rant talking about it, I do believe that it is happening. Henry Cavill is coming back as Superman, and there is going to be a massive announcement at the San Diego Comic-Con. And he is scheduled to be there, and in Hall H, with the whole DC family, there is supposed to be a big announcement as his return, with his return as Superman. And I do believe this is happening, and there's a lot of information out there to support that this is happening. First of all, Warner Brothers Discovery has been completely silent about DC since they took over, and it's been a while now. It's been a good 3 or 4 months, and there hasn't been anything announced. There hasn't been anybody talking about anything at all. We've gotten some rumors of the Joker 2. Well, they're not rumors. The Joker 2 is happening and a few other things. We've gotten pictures released of Batgirl, Blue Beetle, a lot of things going on. There hasn't been anything new announced. There hasn't been anything announced about Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, the big hitters for DC. Well, David Zaslav has said that Superman has been just wavering in the background. He's been ignored, and it is time to change that. He talked about this before the merger happened. He said he wants to focus on Superman and bringing him back as a powerhouse. They see what is happening behind the scenes, and one of the stories I am going to talk about and discuss here in a little bit is Zack Snyder's Justice League getting released as digital. And I did purchase it the morning it came out, and I've got that part of my collection, as well as I do own 2 4K copies of it as well. I'm doing my part to support the whole Zack Snyder's Justice League movement. I want to see the rest of his movies made. Does that mean he should do all of the films and it should be all Zack Snyder? That's not what I'm saying. And I know a lot of people think that my channel is just about Zack Snyder. It's not. I love the whole DC universe, but I want to see the right people doing the right things. I want the right directors, I want the right actors in the right roles, and I want Warner Brothers to back up their directors and let these filmmakers make their movies. The biggest thing they can do to just bring in the fan base is to announce Henry Cavill coming back as Superman. Whether that's his solo film or making an appearance in Black Adam, I don't care what it is. As long as they are bringing him back and we're going to know that he's in that role long term, that's what matters. That is going to bring a lot of the fans back and restore a lot of the faith in the people that have lost that faith. I'm one of those that I'm kind of just sitting back, praying and hoping that the right thing is going to happen, and this would be a huge step towards that. That will give me some light at the end of the tunnel, and I know it would a lot of other fans too. There was nothing wrong with Henry Cavill as Superman. He did a great job in that role, and he's missed. It's just criminal that we only have Man of Steel as a solo Superman film at this stage when he was the one that kicked it all off, 8-9 years ago or whatever it was. So that is the first big story, and I do think some things are going to be announced at the San Diego Comic-Con. I still hope we get a fandom in October. Some of the people in my channel, reading and watching think that there isn't going to be a fandom this year because DC is at the San Diego Comic-Con. That remains to be seen. I don't know. If they don't make any big announcements at the San Diego Comic-Con, I do think there is going to have to be something happening with the fandom, because they can't go this long without making announcements on stuff, because the stuff that's already in production, what's happening after that? They have to make announcements for future projects. The San Diego Comic-Con is a perfect place to do that, as well as the Fandome if they still hold it in October. So that's the first story that I wanted to talk about. So let's talk about the second story, which is Zack Snyder's Justice League being released digitally. There is controversy that keeps surrounding this film, and it is funny that every time it gets released on video, or there's going to be a release just in general on HBO Max or now digitally, that there's controversy surrounding it. The first controversy happened when it was released on HBO Max. It was leaked the day before or the week before. If you watched Tom and Jerry, Zack Snyder's Justice League would start, and it got like an hour and a half in, and then it got pulled. That was the first controversy that happened. The second thing that happened is when it was getting released on video, there were these reports coming out saying, that the whole thing was rigged, that the movie should have never seen the light of day, that a lot of the Twitter fans were fake, and that came about again the other day when it got released. The day it got released digitally, there were all these reports. Well, it's one report, but a lot of outlets were reporting it. Rolling Stone came out with an article that stated that 13% of the Twitter fans were bots. Think about that. 13%. Now, first of all, that's not a very large number. If that's the case, who cares? I'm not a bot, and I know a lot of other people aren't bots. We were all talking about restore the Snyderverse. And what's crazy about this is, for here in America, our president reportedly has 40 to 50% of his followers are bots. That's not all over the news all the time. Nobody's talking about that. But yet Zack Snyder's Justice League gets released digitally to make some money and to go out to a larger fan base and more accessible. And all of a sudden, Rolling Stone, one outlet, Rolling Stone comes out with an article saying that 13% of them were bots and that it was fueled by crazy people, all right? And there's a report that Zack Snyder himself was a part of that he threatened some of the executives saying, if you don't take some of these producers off of my film, you just wait, I'm going to rule social media. So they took that as a threat, all right? There's a lot of controversy surrounding this. Luckily, there is one voice in the ether out there that is being the voice of reason, and that is Forbes. Their article says that more than likely that Rolling Stone article is just way off base, and what does it matter? So Forbes is at least coming out and talking about how there is still a fan base for this, okay? There's no question about it. I want Zack Snyder to come back and do Justice League 2 and 3. The Russo brothers, who directed, my favorite Marvel film, Captain America Winter Soldier. It's the only 5-star film I think they've ever done for Marvel. The directors of that and the last 2 Avengers films came out and said, yeah, you know what? The only version you should be watching is Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's the definitive version. That's the only one you should ever watch. And it's the only one I'll ever watch. I'll never watch the Justice League again. I will tell you, I tried to watch it after watching Zack Snyder's Justice League, and it's truly painful to try to get through that film. It is so bad. And you wonder how these executives sat there and said, yeah, this is the film we're going to release. It just does not make sense to me. I do not like that film. I cannot stand it. And we need to see the universe restored. So a lot of us have taken to Twitter, and I did a post today telling, Warner Brothers, I'm not a bot. Snyder's cut on digital. There's support for it out there, okay? And it just got released yesterday, as a matter of fact. It was yesterday morning. Was it yesterday morning? That's usually Tuesday morning. It might have been Monday when it got released. But when it was released, I did purchase it as soon as it was available. And so that is now I can watch that without having to have HBO Max, as well as my 4K discs that I have, in my theater room. So that's the second big story. And I don't think that controversy is ever going to stop. There are definitely some people that want to discredit Zack Snyder, discredit the work he's done, and discredit these actors so that vision doesn't move forward. But there are those of us that want to see this vision moved forward. We want to see the completion of the story. We want to see where this was leading. Zack Snyder's Justice League is an incredible 5-star film. It's a long 4-hour film that is worth every minute that was invested in it. All right, let's talk about the last story. And the last story's kind of interesting as well. So we have the Batgirl movie coming out, which will be sometime next year. They did announce the delay, and that's obviously because the Flash movie has to come out first for people to understand what's happening in Batgirl. Because if you haven't seen in Batgirl, you do have Michael Keaton back as Batman, and you do have J.K. Simmons coming back as Commissioner Gordon, but he's in the Snyderverse. So the director of the film actually came out the other day and said when he was making his movie, he was totally clueless as to what they were doing. They themselves did not understand why Michael Keaton was in the Snyderverse. And they went in to talk to the executives once they got the script, and the executives are, don't worry about it. Just film it. We've got a plan. Don't worry about it. They now kind of realize that this is kind of a little messed up, and this is why they're talking about it. I think they're getting ahead of any backlash that might come out when that movie does get released. Now, a lot of people are talking about the Flash movie and all the controversy, surrounding Ezra Miller. That controversy is not going to prevent that film from coming out. If you noticed, Warner Brothers has not said anything. I guarantee you, they have pumped $200 million into The Flash. They're not going to allow that to go down the drain, because if they cancel The Flash, then that means Batgirl is also trashed. They did not spend all this money to bring Michael Keaton back, to bring these characters in, to create this, just to have it flushed down the drain. Now, there are reports that the director, Muschietti, or whatever his name is, for The Flash, did change some of his movie to make it more in line with Zack Snyder's Justice League and leave that door open. I did post a video about people who have seen the film and talk about what the post-credit scenes are and everything, and how that is going to tie directly into restoring the Snyderverse. So there are some things happening behind the scenes, and we don't know where this could go left, it could go right. We don't know where this is going to end up at the end of the day. But we need to support, if you like Zack Snyder, you liked his version of the Justice League, buy it digitally, show your support, talk about it on social media, show them we're not bots, we're not hateful people. We just want to see Zack Snyder finish his vision and let the guy make his freaking movies. Bring back Henry Cavill as Superman. Bring back Ben Affleck as Batman. We want to see the movies that we were originally promised before the rug was pulled out from underneath us by these studio executives. They tend to ruin everything. So, all right, so there's my update for the week. As more stuff comes out, and I guarantee you, if the San Diego Comic-Con, there's going to be a lot to talk about when that comes out. So I will be doing multiple videos as the San Diego Comic-Con event takes place, and you guys can come to my channel and hear all the DC-related stuff that is happening. It was also announced the other day that Blue Beetle has finished, photography. It's the filming is finished. Principal photography is done. So they are now doing the post edits on that. And I do believe that one is going to be released theatrically as well. I believe it was originally going to be streaming, but I believe they have decided to release that theatrically. But we'll see in the coming months. There's a lot happening. Stick to my channel, and you'll be hearing about all of the news that does get released as it gets released. I do appreciate the support. If you guys like the video, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It goes a long way in supporting my channel. I do appreciate it. We'll see you guys on the next video.